And welcome to the final game of day one. We have Hammertron versus MUA, and you have Ethan and Aroha in the commentary booth. MUA with the pull, coming down defense. For those at home, the wind is coming from left to right on your screen, and we will expect to see a lot of zone and a little bit of poaching today. Wind has been up, and Tron looking long early, looking long and just out of reach. They'll have good position on the sideline though to start some defense from. MUA walking to pick it up, bring it back to the cone.
Cool. So Ethan, what can we talk about in terms of conditions today here?
Wind's been up a lot today. It's been very windy. There's been a lot of zone, a lot of huck and D, people playing a very different tactical game where they're playing for position a bit more. MUA looks very happy to go up the sideline, a firm throw, but great defense from Tron, just picking it up, giving themselves great field position to put in an early shot. Walking in, it will be interesting to see whether they get off the sideline or they just look to punch it in.
So on the disc right now, we've got a young Will. He's still a high schooler, but quite an agile player. And we're seeing what he's doing. Look at him move through there, but open to Keenan. Just in case anyone wants to know, Keenan likes to go uddle hard or uddle home.
Big deep shot early, looking early, that's some good position. Oh, good bid, but just out of reach. That would have put them in a threatening place to pick up an early break. MUA setting up, forcing backhand, forcing them into the wind.
Here we go, we've got Adam Keenan on the disc here, looking for a nice huck.
Keenan long.
It's up for Jackson, is he going to read it?
Oh, is this coming back in? It's just out of the field, and that will be coming back through.
It might be worth noting that that wind has actually reduced a little bit from the left to right than we were seeing earlier in the day.
MUA with the vertical. Looking early, that's a good deep cut coming up, trying to set themselves some space. Oh, nice inside shot, just out of reach, but a favourable roll gives them field position anyway.
So here we come with Hammertron. Hammertron traditionally play a hex structure here. Here we go, we see the hat moving with Jane coming forward, Jackson moving into that open space. He's looking to dish it off in the direction he's passing. It's not there. Luckily, Adam Keenan.
Looking sideways.
Commentators get dry lips, don't they?
Hammertron, good attacking field position on the sideline, but on the doorstep. Adam looking, oh, big hammer into the zone. Hammertron live by the sword, and unfortunately it does not fall their way.
Just while we're here though, it might be worth noting that Ethan here is one of the strongest Hammertron hammer throwers that we've ever seen, just in the commentator's booth.
I've been known to dabble in the hammers from time to time. Hammertron, great club from Hamilton. Building in a lot of youth in here, extending out to a great Div 2 team who put up 2 wins so far today. MUA 1 and 2, this will be playing for good position in their pool.
Cool, so if we have a look here, we've got a vertical stack coming in from MUA. What are we going to do here? Let's see who's going to take that undercut.
Cook with the disc, looking for one. Just overshot and just bobbled but unable to gather. Hammertron to pick up from about halfway.
So Hammertron here, they're setting up in what we call a 3. There's that hat clearing very early without the play being in play here from Anne-Marie.
Well centered. Looking for the motion, give, instantly going, very active, dynamic offense. Adam 6 meters out, swings to Will, goes across. Slight miscommunication, great shot, but just not able to connect. Both teams grinding in this first point. Great shot down the sideline. MUA on the sideline. Oh, good upline cut. Great cover from the defense. Just unlucky with the wind. Throws having to be thrown a little bit lower, a little bit firmer to fight this wind, making it quite difficult to catch at times. Will picking up, looking deep early, fakes off Adam. Swings to Jackson.
Through to Anne-Marie. Oh, here we go. We've got Keenan coming through. Can they keep it in flow?
Oh, nice wide shot. Oh, just unlucky, floating over the top. They wanted it, but unable to pull it down. MUA to pick up. Joshua Cook to pick up.
Good cut here from number 3. Is it looked off? It's looked off there.
Sophie, great undercut. Oh, good leading pass to Joel Gordon there, but unfortunately just out of reach. Bobbled and didn't fall his way. Jackson to pick up, swings to Will, and here's that Hex ultimate. Looking to play fast, play dynamic, and this wind is proving issues for both teams at this stage. There is a lot of heart out there on this field, and they are fighting for everything. Good reset to Josh.
Here we go. I think we're starting to see them settle in and passing to their more experienced players. Just not that bit of pressure that can
Monique to
come
Joel.
with.
Joel, high in the end zone, and just drifting, pushed by the wind and up onto the bank. That was a great offense. They managed to push the whole way down that sideline, gave themselves a good position to launch an attack from. And now Hammertron will have to fight to get out of this corner. Wind in their face, on their doorstep. Can they punch themselves out? Sitting out with the Hex. Adam to initiate movement, attacking that sideline early. There's the motion started. Back to the middle. Oh, just a drop, unfortunately. Joel to pick up, centered, good field position. 10 meters out. Good swing to Monique. Oh, and just slips out of her hands. There must be some of that sunscreen from the surprising amount of sun we've had today. For those who don't know, we were forecasted to have thunderstorms, and it has been an absolute stunner out here as Tron looking to move. Adam dishes off to Will. They play with a really good amount of pace.
I don't know what your perspective is here, Ethan, but I'm wondering if we've got a bit of a video fever going on. We're just a little bit under the pump right now.
Yeah, a bit of the video fever, a bit of the nerves on camera, bit of adjusting to a field going in a different direction.
Yeah. For those that don't know, there's actually some really strong players on this field here today that could both be playing in this division or Division 1 here in New Zealand.
Joel swings to Monique, centered.
Well
Great
done.
block from Genevieve. Looking deep early, can she get it?
Here comes Keenan. Is Keenan going to
Keenan wants
send
to put
it?
it up and just...
No send.
They go back to their bread and butter, their Hex. They're getting that just moving. Dishing it off. Punching it up the sideline. Genevieve looking forward, power position. Dishes it off. Dish and move, dish and move. It is bread and butter for Hammertron, and they've done it so well for so long. Can they fight this through? Will, looking. Lovely shot up the sideline. Jackson. Oh, there's a bit of a discussion here on the field. Not sure if it's in or out. Here in Ultimate, when there is a discussion, when there is a disagreement about a call, the self-refereed sport, players will have a discussion, work out what they agree the outcome is, and play resumes. On the doorstep, Jackson faking the scuba, swinging, finds Jane behind her, doesn't go there, dishes. Oh, so close. They are threatening. There are so many shots that are just off, and they are going to... Great shot there. Josh Cook going deep. Great pickup block. Is that Keenan? Adam Keenan just making up some good ground to pick that one up and just get themselves out of jail there. For MUA, good field position to play defense from, and if they can get an early turn here, have that short field to work with. Will centers to Jackson. Anne-Marie. Back to Adam Keenan, just good dishing. They are making some very good movement here. Oh, there we go. Sidelined, Jackson looking. No, and they will reset their hex motion. They've swung it back, looking to center it. Oh, big block, big bid from Joel, unable to get it, but on his feet so quickly, puts the pressure, and they earn the block there anyway. Putting that pressure on Will, unable to gather. And a good tactical timeout. Both teams have been grinding out here at the moment. First point timeout doesn't happen often, but when a point goes like this, you need to catch a breather, set the tone for the game, and they are both out here to fight. Here teams are likely to be having to talk about how things are going. They are fighting. They've got to be pretty happy with the way that they're playing offense. Given this wind, it's actually very tricky, but they have put themselves into good field positions. Both teams have had some genuine shots into the end zone. Both teams look threatening. Defense, they're not giving up, and they are forcing people to attack a bobbling disc in the wind, and that's how they get in the turns. Not necessarily picking it up as a full-on block, but just through sheer pressure, being on their shoulder in this wind makes it very hard to safely catch that disc.
So for those that aren't from New Zealand, it might just be worth noting that these are teams from two smaller regions. So in New Zealand, we tend to think of Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch as our main centres, whereas these two teams here, Hammertron is from Hamilton in the North Island, and MUA is from Palmerston North at the lower part of the North Island, closer to Wellington.
Coming out of the timeout, Joel to pick up. Will setting the mark, good vertical space. The centre give themselves width to work with. Some great defense off the bat, but Adam caught picking up another player. Gets the disc off. Joel looking at James, some great defense in the lane, just forcing that disc wide. Great upline cut there. Catherine Gray picking up some space. And Will is putting on some work in that reset. Disc in the air. Joel turns to pick it up and Adam comes in. Great block for there. Good poaching. Way to have some heads up defense. Will centers Jackson. Anne-Marie. Adam Keenan has Jane going. Decides to reset the hex. Slow it down for a second so they can kick off their stable platforms. Anne-Marie to Keenan. Slightly high to Will, but he has no problem pulling that down. Will on the sideline, leading pass down the sideline, but just pushed down by the wind. Joel to pick up. Joel has been a workhorse for the Manawatu region for a number of years now. Played through the Massey University team, coached them in their last effort at New Zealand Tertiary Ultimate Championships this year, and has taken another leadership role on this team. Great crossfield hammer, just the wind turning it. Josh unable to gather. Stops the roll, centered in the field. Both teams catching their breath and taking it slowly to pick up the disc. Jane using this opportunity to separate, pick up some deep space. Good cover from Manawatu. Swinging, Keenan near sideline. Sends to Jackson. Jackson looking deep. Genevieve, oh, so close. They are in the zone and they are threatening every possession. But once again, it's that MUA defense. They're on your shoulder. They force you to attack that disc. She couldn't just slow down and catch company because she knew that right on the shoulder she was going to have to risk it being picked up. 32-1, center in the field. Nice low release. And Jane, what a great block and awesome field position. That is what her team needs right now. A good short field opportunity to put in the first point, hold their offense, and just try to get off this field. Great pass there. Anne-Marie Keenan, what a way to finish the first point. Jane with a great, important block. Way to start this game off. 16-minute grind for that first point, but they are off the field now and they are ready to come out, fresh legs, ready to fight. Here, after the first point was ladies, we are now into the first of 2 male points. Kieran with the pull. MUA getting to the line, having talks through the tactics, deciding how they're going to approach the next point.
Depending on what your knowledge is of hex here today. So the best way that the hex will work is if you can get it flowing with a couple of players in front. The idea is that we want to take the first open option and keep it in play. As a defender, no one likes it when you have to play the catch-up game, and that's exactly what they're banking on. So well done to Jane there, and for Anne-Marie to picking it up and not letting the 7 defenders set.
Kieran identifying the win, puts down a roller pole, lands midway, rolls the entire width of the field and gives them a good position to start pitting MUA on the sideline.
Oh, it looks like we've got a bit of a zone here, Ethan.
Yes, I was wondering when we would see this. Jonas, fake around and looking deep. If that holds in, that will be pretty good, but I do not think that has managed to come in, and Hammertron will have it just inside the halfway mark. Hammertron utilizing the wind and identifying that short passes and a huge number of passes in this wind are very difficult. Approaching their first defensive point with a different approach and instantly getting the rewards. Kieran walking the disc in.
If I was a player on the field right now, Ethan, do you know what I'd be saying?
What's that?
Shoot it.
Yeah. I would not be surprised to see a hammer here. Hammers from Kieran all day. Instead, he puts up a lovely forehand.
So
what a break!
conventional.
That is
Well
huge
done.
from Kieran.
There we go.
That is such an important point after that first grind, putting in the first break of the game. Alex Pete taking that down that first point, first break, and that puts all that pressure back on MUA. Hammertron identifying the wind, get themselves in good field position, attack the zone early, and they take a 2-0 lead in the last game of the day. Line looks very similar here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kieran with the second pull. See what he does here. Coming downward, and he's opted for the more aerial pull. Great distance. Wind pushes it down, but that's put them in a good position. And that was a great chase. Shutting down that first pass. Putting pressure on the second pass, and Daniel Thornton picking up that first pass block again. Swinging out to the high side. Punching through the middle. Kieran, just outside center field, dishing it, looking to dish. Great defense in the handler set. Thornton gets free. Kieran looking deep. And it's that give-go movement that Hammertron is famous for. works in their hex, they apply it to their vertical, and they reap the rewards there. Some good movement and unfortunately able to convert. But once again, on the doorstep, setting out their zone. Look like they are going with a 3-3-1 arrowhead formation here. Happy to let passes go wide, but MUA doing a great job to get down the field. That would have been a huge gainer there. Bex in good position, great pass, but once again that bobbling disc, hard to pull down. But 2 passes to be all the way down here. Kieran, 40 meters from the zone, and he is looking to wind up. Doesn't see the option. Good little pop pass. That defense, that MUA defense from Abigail on the shoulder this whole time, putting that pressure in. And that zone is set though. Good little pop out, lost some meters, but they have put themselves into a good center field. Great bid there, but unable to pick up. Daniel Thornton looking long early. Oh, and that is unfortunate. They were so close to pulling in a break and putting themselves in a great position in this game. MUA will have to fight their way out of their end zone again here, but they've proven they can do it a number of times already. This game may only be 2-0, but both teams have been fighting. They have proven that they have such a skill in this wind, and they are identifying well where they want to attack from. Looking to swing early. Coming to the near sideline. The low sideline has turned into a little bit of a crosswind, and oh, that's a great pass to go upwind. Unable to gather, and Hammertron with good field position to try to convert here. Will be interesting to see whether they continue with their hex or whether they move into a more traditional vertical. Araha, you've played in the hex. What is usually the approach here?
It's hex, and hex, maybe an alternative hex. But
Oh, unfortunate. Thornton unable to gather. Great second bid from Hammertron. Unable to pick it up. And MUA get a little bit of a reprieve there. You say a reprieve, but they walk straight back into the zone that looks so hard to fight through.
I don't know about you, Ethan, but I'm seeing a bit of a double team situation going on here. Just a bit close with Caitlin Ward every now and then.
Yeah, some teams are often into double team a little bit, but as an offensive player, if you're comfortable with it, it actually gives you a lot of opportunity to attack because it commits players into one area of the field. If you can get out of that first pass, all of a sudden you have that extra width. MUA at this stage, happy to live with it, happy to actually trust that they are able to get wide. Kieran dishing it in. That looks like Alex there to pick up a second goal there and put themselves 3-0 up. Hammertron proving that actually in this win, field position can mean a heck of a lot. On the doorstep, converting again.
Ethan, I'm going to be a little controversial here at Division 2, knowing Kieran quite well myself, but some would say that this should have been a bit more upside down.
Oh, he's throwing more just the right way up than I've ever seen from him. I was expecting it to be a good scuba to the gut, but they did the job, they converted, coming out on defense again. And here with the gender rules, it's a 4 female point, which means we have a female puller here.
So that's Mr. Joe Wharekuda here, making this pull in the blue boots.
Hammertron, disc in the air, signaling their readiness. MUA having a last discussion, and Joel has signaled. That is a good pull in this one. That's some very good distance. Good drift to that sideline, and that's where you want to be playing defense from. Good chase down. They are set for that first pass, and nothing easy. Gordon to Cook, all the way across to Monique Connolly. Nice little pop pass into Joel. Good space. Has some time to work with, and a good crisp pass back to Monique. Josh towards the near sideline. Still has some width to work with. Pass back to Monique. Leaves her feet a little bit to gather it. Better safe than sorry, and she is just doing awesome work as that pivot. Gets it out to Josh, and Josh sees the space and puts it out. unfortunately wasn't on the same page as his team, but they are threatening. They are looking very, very comfortable with that disc. The scoreline does not seem to be facing them. Tron coming back the other way. Thornton, Kieran, back to Thornton. Oh, that was so close. What a bit there, but a great gather. Putting it up the field, Nikki.
There's one really good thing about Hex, Ethan, from my perspective, and it's that we cycle through most of the players being involved in the play. If we see here, the players are opening and shutting spaces for each other, whether they're the ones getting the disc or opening up the disc space for someone else.
Hex is a very unique structure in that it promotes this dynamic movement, and regardless of what position you start in, you're not going to end up. Oh, what a block! Jonas with a great layout block. Way to just pump that down. Say, no, you are not scoring in my end zone. Joel to pick up. Zone set though, but Jonas, what a block at such a crucial moment. Joshua Cook with a great pass down the line. That is some big meters. Back to Jonas. Are we looking long? And Jonas is sending that up.
Beautiful.
What a grab! What a grab! Jonas has taken over this point. MUA on the board with a great block, good movement, and a great shot down the line. MUA are just taking over this game. That was such a good point, and they have really shown how powerful they can be when they get what they want. They get that movement, they get that width, their team's happy with the disc, and that leading pass was just something else to watch. Monique Connolly pulling from the near sideline, giving herself that whole width of the field to deal with the drift. Great pull, a little bit of a roll. Hammertron a little bit slow together, but now they are in their hex, they are moving. Down the gut. Adam Keenum seems to be a name we're saying a lot here, and Anne-Marie, good heads up that shot was a little shorter, turns into it and just makes sure of it. Keenan, oh, what a block there. Juan gaining some ground and taking that block. MUA have turned up the defensive pressure here, and they are really making Tron have to work if they want to put this disc in that end zone. Joel walking it up. Will forehand force, sorry. Oh, going straight up. He's changing it around, put it in some confusion and gets the reward. Juan unable to gather. Good inside shot from Joel. Keenan with the spin around, Joel in the space. Good, safe way to take down that block. Knew he had time, got two hands to it. Calmly walks it up. Looks for his team to reset. Gets wide early, all the way across to Juan. Dishing back. Rebecca Gray. Finding Joel. Joel looks at Monique a little bit wide in this wind. Great inside shot too though, picks her up anyway. And Monique looking deep. Oh, that's a good grab. Big one-handed grabs in this one are not easy, but you do not want to be bobbling it because that disc could go anywhere at this stage. Just out of reach. And MUA inside their offensive half of the field. Joel to pick up. Their stack looks very, very spread. They're trying to work out what they're doing at the moment. Look like a little bit of a box offense. Creating some space for themselves, giving themselves a lot of underspace to work with. Monique with the disc. Monique, nice inside shot, flips up in the wind. Oh, what a grab on the doorstep. Oh, that is some good defense. What a pickup there from number 29. She has managed to come across and just Both these teams are playing some great goal line defense now. That's some great handler defense. Johnson having to get out of trouble. Keenan, great grab to pull that down over Juan, putting pressure. Back to Johnson. Oh, Joel has gone out big. What a block from Joel. He has come off with an injury, but his team will be so happy with that block. He is making some plays here, and he is putting everything into this game. Jonas, playmaker from just before, has come on to replace him.
Oh, are we looking for an equipment change without a hole in the disc here, Ethan?
It's been a stoppage, so it's okay here. Joel, with all that force, has seemed to target the disc. Put to the sideline, they are finding a new disc to resume play with. Jonas in good centre field, just inside halfway, looking into their zone. And a phenomenal pass from the sideline, just in the breadbasket.
If anyone wanted to know, that was Finn Collins, a young youth that New Zealand has here with excellent throws.
One of a number of youth players here at Div 2.
Here's Rebecca Gray with the high release forehand.
Finding Monique Connolly, centre, putting it up deep. There's a pick call, but they will gather anyway, and there will be a discussion here, but Juan making sure of the catch. Finish the catch and then work out how it was resolved. It has gone back. Lovely looking throw. Monique, is she going to do the same again? Oh, and there it is. Inside shot again. Oh, and the layup bit from Juan, just out of reach. Keenan putting that pressure on, but just out of reach there too. Hammertron on their doorstep again, working their way out. They've shown a huge amount of discipline in this wind and a trust in their team to fight through this wind. Lots of small passes.
Here we go, here comes that flow. So in a hex, what we're looking for is to get power and then open it up and hit that long. Here we go, is he going to give it back to Will so he can get power? Nope.
Keenan on the sideline, Will undercut. Great pickup there from Monique Connolly. Forcing some pressure down the sideline. That unfortunately did not connect. There seems to be a stall out call here, so there'll be a little bit of a discussion. See whether he managed to get that off in time. But MUA's pressure is really clamping down now. Really good job of slowing down that motion of the hex, forcing the team to reset their position before they manage to restart their offense.
Did you just notice that, Ethan? I saw some MUA players in there letting the sideline actually know what was going on with their communication.
Yes, it's one of the emphasis that's gone on in New Zealand Ultimate lately, and these teams are showing it very well. There is a lot of communication here, good hand signals so that everybody involved knows what's going on. Just a discussion around who's picking up, how this just comes back into play. Ground has been tapped. Walking away, they will reset their offense here. Monique Connolly and Pittercuck now. Jonas in the handler set. Rebecca Gray in the handler set. Aggressive cut from Juan, under, looking deep, seeing if he's got some space. Jonas with an upline cut, pulls it across and finds number 3, Sophie, right there. Good position there. Rebecca safe, gets her body in a good position, swings it all the way to Juan. Juan, Jonas. Jonas looking deep, what a catch. Good catch there from Sophie. They're inside the brick mark now. Juan with the disc again. And they will reset here. They've proven they can work it up. They're going to manage to punch this one in. Well, get around. Float from Jonas. And what a grab! Number 66. Pulling that one there down. Quinlan. What a grab. There was some good pressure in there. Three offense and defense under it. So to make that grab is something else. Player seems to have stayed down with a cramp afterwards. It's been a long day in this heat. But MUA have turned up to play, drawing the score back to 3-2.
For those at home, just so you're aware, the wind's starting to pick up here. But with wind comes more excitement, especially because Hammertron's now on O. Hammertron likes a good pool play. Are we going to see the classic Kieran, what do we call it, a dump truck? Probably not now, we're on the sideline, but the crowd was
It
somewhat
looks like that
hoping.
has been bricked though, so here they'll bring it centre field, 18 metres up. Kieran with the disc. Daniel Thornton, one of his resets. Sorry, one of his back pair in the hex. And here they look at that give-go movement. Jane straight back into that space. No hesitation to fill and not make sure that all their players have options.
Here we see MUA with their first zone of the game. That also looks like an arrowhead formation.
Back to Thornton, swinging to Jackson. Jackson, midfield, breaching halfway. Thornton and Marie. Kieran directing traffic.
MUA's doing well. They're trying to say, hey, you know what, Hammertron? You can go wide, but what you can't have is the channel of awesome up the middle.
Hammertron content to swing the disc at the moment. Wait for their opportunity to attack. Oh, a lovely shot.
Beautiful.
Piercing through, getting across the front, finding Anne-Marie. Jackson back to Anne-Marie, midfield. Daniel Thornton faking the big forehand, dishes it off, gets into good reset position. Is he going to go wide here straight away? You bet you he is.
Oh, that's great. Look at them making a run, MUA, to do sprints unnecessarily. Hey, you know what? You can run as we move through your zone.
Oh, that
well
is some
done,
reflexes
Glenn
there.
Connolly.
Glenn picking up the block from a little bobble. Joel recovered, picking up.
Is he going to give the crowd what they want? Is he going to huck it?
Finding Jonas. Jonas, unfortunate. Glenn. Looking deep. Gets in good field position though. This is where you want to be playing your defense from. Make Hammertron work that whole way up the field, having to grind through that zone. Hammertron in their last position showed that they were happy to play with the width, and if they needed to, lose some ground to get themselves into a better position to attack from. We'll see if they want to do the same again or if they're going to be a bit more aggressive up the middle.
Do you know what I'm interested in, Ethan?
Watch that.
I'm really interested if Hammertron can start showing that actually they don't mind playing the long game as well. Telling MUA, you know what, we're a threat in both. We're sharp and zippy in the short space, but watch us long as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen a long shot from them, which is very surprising in this wind. 40 minutes into this game, not seeing a deep shot. Oh, Jane with a nice little look through the middle. Jonas identifies it, picks up a block on Jackson. MUA managing to get some big blocks in good field position, and he understands he wants this down the other end of the field. Number 30, Matt, just out of reach, but he has turned Huck and Hope into, are we going to convert this?
Do you know what I think Jonas just said? I think he said, you know what, yeah, there's some wind here, but if we're an experienced thrower, So what? The hucks are on, guys. Let's do it.
More identifying that their zone is putting on the pressure and that they would rather just make them work it up 60 metres than 20. When like this, short field turnovers, very, very hard to deal with. You may get it back, but mentally it can be very draining to play defense from inside your brick mark. Here they had the field to work with. They had their chances. Hammertron looking to play small ball, incorporating a lot of the assets that the Hex brings. This give go, this dishy movement, lovely leading pass. Jackson, Thornton, oh, Fanny and Marie, but unable to gather, just air bouncing a little in the wind. But they were looking threatening there. They managed to run through that zone in a very good time. Just on the brick mark, and Joel to pick up, swinging to Jonas.
Oh, here comes little Jane.
Oh, that's unfortunate. What a great turn. He has turned in. He looks like he has picked up a shoulder injury, and he will be taking an injury sub, unfortunately. Hopefully it is not too bad. But he does not look like he is comfortable at the moment.
While Matt's on the ground here, I'd just like to share a little bit of insight about Hex on the movement as Hammertron moves through. So just so you're aware, you have like a tree, if you will, of decisions that you make when you're moving in Hex, and the best thing to do is keep moving in the direction that you're going. So if you are facing back towards the person that gave you the disc, you should be looking to dish it back. The idea is keep it in flow, because as a defender, it's a nightmare to defend something that stays moving. You have to react to that. So if Hammertron can keep it moving, they should, in theory, keep that threat really high. Here comes Kieran. He is hoping from the sideline, maybe not as a commentator, that he was going to throw something exciting. He didn't, obviously. Here we go. Maybe he should have.
And here we have MUA managing that short field turn, instant shot into the end zone. So it looks like a slight overshot on Josh Cook, but that's unfortunate. But once again, defense on the doorstep, good place to be. Hammertron have shown that they are willing to fight this up, show that they're able to get this out of the zone. Applying a lot of those active, dynamic principles of their Hex, showing that actually person, zone, principles of Ultimate apply regardless. And Kieran, lovely leading pass down the sideline, finding Thornton, fakes it off, tries to center, and Wind holds it up. Jackson unable to connect. Jonas picks up quick, finds Josh. Defense still scrambling to reset. They have managed to slow down that motion. Cheeky little shot around Kieran, finding Joel, good position. Josh Cook looking long. Oh, they're so close. They are threatening this. They are on the doorstep. They are putting shots in the end zone. It is a matter of time before one of these ones here connect.
What you might not be able to see as my partner in crime here is commentating, is that our sideline looks like they've fatigued a little and forgotten their role. So let's see what happens in the next 10 minutes. Hopefully they're back on the sideline, just bringing in the energy that those on-field players need as we approach the... Goodness, how many minutes are we in now, Ethan, to this point?
Oh, at this point, I think we must be 4 minutes in.
Yeah. At this stage, we need off-field energy to help as we fatigue.
As Aro has said, it can be very lonely out there without the sideline, but it has been a long, hard day. It has been a slog. It is hot. A lot of games, not a lot of time. And you also need to take advantage of any break you get, because these points, when you are out there, they have been a grind. Hammertron, lots of lateral movement. Finding Anne-Marie through the middle, dishing back. Andrew. Anne-Marie. Oh, sorry, that was Genevieve to Anne-Marie.
Look, as I'm observing, Ethan, I'm quite impressed with the number of throws Hammertron is making without a turnover. These are short throws, and we know that we are working with odds at this rate. It's quite impressive.
They're showing a lot of skill and a lot of discipline here. Showing that actually as a well-drilled team, It's not just their tactics, it's not just showing innovation in New Zealand Ultimate and bringing Hex here, but they still work on the fundamentals. Those throws, those short passes, they are not throwing turnovers within that 8 to 10 meter circle. They are still giving those turnovers on those longer passes, but this wind makes that difficult. But they are not giving easy turns. They are not giving too many turns in bad position. And here, on the corner, Joel picking up. Oh, trying to find Josh.
Pressure.
But that pressure, Kieran on his shoulder, push pass, finding Andrew, converting.
I don't know about you, Ethan, but that's the Kieran I came for, the one that pushes the push pass instead of the safe backhand.
Both teams taking advantage of this break. The break between points seems to be a little longer than normal, but it is sapping out there. This heat, this wind. When you came down here expecting rain and this is the weather you get, you feel lucky, but you also sometimes feel it'll be a little bit easier on the body to be playing with some cloud cover. Kieran, big pull. That is going to be an end zone pull. Good height, good float, and there is the chase. He's landed that in the end zone. Josh on the back line. Finding Quinn. Quinn just overshooting, and there is some quick movement from Tron. Dish, dish, dish. And they have converted that point at pace. Would you look at that? That has just shown a good chase, good defense, and then that dynamic offense before the defense sets. Sometimes you'll get some very cruisy points like that. Just because it's cruisy didn't mean it's easy, because they're working hard out there, but it looks easy when you do it like that.
So I know today that we've alluded to the weather here, but I guess it's probably worth mentioning that we were expecting thunderstorms. Teams were mentally prepared for that, not for dehydration, and that's what we're in. And here they are, still just walking the field with their... But here they are with smiles, remembering that, you know what? They're chasing a piece of plastic with their friends.
I was definitely one of those players who came in unprepared for this weather. No hat, no sunblock. Luckily, my team was more prepared than I, but I had the rain jackets, the jumpers, you name it. I was going to be very dry this weekend. And a great pull from Nikki over halfway. Good chase, and they will be set up straight away.
Oh, here we go. We've got an arrowhead zone defense. Let's see what happens here. Let's see how MUA responds.
Jonas finds Monique. Just pushed down by the wind, trying to recenter. This wind's very difficult to play with.
Yeah.
Very tired legs. Very hard to just, sometimes those basic throws in this wind can be the hardest ones to do. Early look, Quinn on the mark. Oh, Jonas! He nearly pulled down another huge block. MUA, their defense, they are picking up opportunities left and right.
Here comes, if anyone didn't notice, that was some very good composure there from Monique.
Oh, Daniel Thornton.
He snaps it without the contact.
Oh, there might be a bit of contact here. It looks like there's at least been a land on the leg.
Yeah, we've probably got to rely on you a bit more there, Ethan, as a player myself, as someone that enjoys a bit of contact.
Daniel did his best to avoid it, but Monique had good field position, good body position, and forced Daniel into a position where it looks like he may not have been able to make that bid without contact. They're having a discussion here to see whether the contact affected.
Do you know what I'm interested in, Ethan? To see whether we can resolve something within a short time frame. And we have! That's a great outcome for Ultimate here in New Zealand.
Monique testing out the leg, making sure that she's okay.
Oh, isn't that pleasant?
Hugging it out.
Here's the question now. After this, will she be able to get a huck off?
Oh, she's an extremely skilled player. She will definitely find a way.
But she's
the
gone
moment,
for the good option.
Looking to find Jonas. But Monique definitely has that ability to put it. Good little shot through the middle. And Monique, as we just said, puts it up. Good gather. Unable to connect with Quinn, but Hammertron coming back the other way. Nikki. Thornton. A little bit of a circus act, and Quinn comes down with it. Finding Monique, just a smart dish. Get it into the middle of the field.
Oh, well
and MUA,
done.
just another great grab there. They are fighting for every single disc they can. Just an unfortunate disconnect there. It's Monique not able to gather. Daniel to pick up the disc.
For anyone that's interested, there's actually quite a young contingent on the field here today, particularly in this point. Our Divey 66 out there, he's a high school player still, and there's quite a few more of them out there.
It's a very good swing pass from Jonas, all the way to the sideline finding Monique, and Monique with the composure resenses it. They look very casual, and that is just a nice little scuba over the top, looking for Bex, but just falling between.
You know what I saw?
Abigail.
I think that next time Bex and Abigail were ready for that scuba.
I think that they were just slightly concerned about hitting each other, or just a little bit of a trip there. Jonas gathers.
Is anyone going to see Monarch there? Oh, no.
And Monique, not wanting to play defense in this half of the field, puts that down. That'll be a block on the stat sheets, but that does not make that a bad option.
Here goes Zaya. Is he going to go to work now? Unfortunately,
And
no.
here's the rewards. Monique puts them in good field position. The fatigue setting in, getting that turn, and Monique to pick up. 25 meters out. Swings to Jonas near sideline. What a good shot up the middle.
Oh, well
And
done.
that is the way that MUA has converted the point. Bex picking it up. A great shot from Jonas. Good shot through the middle. Never a bit on that.
I think if we look here today at the score, considering how many minutes have been played, it's showing how much both these teams want it. I think we're at a 5-1 score. Is that about right, Ethan? Somewhere in the 6 total area. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's 8.
Yes. The last few points, both teams' offenses have seemed to manage to get a hold of this game. And there have been a couple good quick points in there that they've managed to convert.
Just out of interest, and slash side note, I'd just like to do a shout out here to ulti.TV for coming over from Australia so that they can stream our Division 2 here. They'll be joining us next week in Division 1, but it's a real privilege to be able to see all our Ultimate players getting some screen time here today.
Because as this pull comes up, and it's another good pull from Monique. Great distance, a good little roll which slows down that offense. And she is nearly there for that first pass block, puts the pressure on. Keenan able to gather, but MUA showing that intent. Unable to find an option, finds one in the middle. Keenan far sideline, Joel on the mark. Another good shot down that wing. Anne-Marie on the doorstep, 5 meters out, far sideline. What will they do here? Will they dish it back, use the width? Looks for the leading pass and just unable to connect here. Joel to pick up. Good pressure there from Hammertron. Joel struggling to find an option there as Hammertron's defense shutting everything down.
As a favourable Hex player myself, I'd just like to talk about just how flexible and dynamic the play can be. So as we see here, we have 3 options that are at least open to us. We're looking downfield, backfield, midfield.
And there
look,
you go.
The space is just open. Look at Jackson and Andy making that connection right there for the goal.
What a way to finish that point off. Defense was good, huge pressure there, gets the short field turn, and they have just converted that straight away. That's the sort of ultimate that they want to be playing there. As Araho was saying before, just because this is Div 2, we are showing the caliber and the depth of New Zealand Ultimate now. There are a number of experienced players here, a number of teams playing some very good Ultimate in trying conditions, and it's extremely good to see this and get some extra game time under pressure. Nothing like playing under the camera, under the lights.
I think I alluded to this earlier, but I just really like to highlight how exciting this particular game is. We've got a lot of experienced players out on the line on both teams. We've got the Keenans and the Andys and the Kierans on the Hammertron side. We've got the Joels and the Joshes on the MUA side. But we've got a lot of up-and-comers in that high school space. The Wills, what are our youths on the other side? The Aprils on that MUA side. And I think, what a future for New Zealand we've got if we really, take them under our wing and let them be free.
It's a great opportunity to still just be out here playing some competitive Ultimate. Seems like a little bit of miscommunication on the gender there. Unsure which team didn't have it. Looks like MUA playing 4 ladies, actually 4 males. So here, despite the good pull, this will come back.
Do you know what's exciting?
Sub things out, and they have just reset the gender very quickly, and the teams will be ready to play again very shortly.
Ethan, do you know what's exciting in this?
What's that, Araha?
Back in the day, we would have been a little bit polite and not said anything. But here we are today being like, you know what? That's not okay. Do it right.
Both these teams are ones that actually exemplify spirit very, very well. As smaller regions, the community that they built, you just always know that you're going to get a good, hard-fought, spirited game. They make calls they genuinely believe in, and they make sure that actually the game flows very, very well, but in the right way. Josh, great regather there as he slightly bobbles, finds Glenn back in the center of the field. Dissing, finding Josh high side. Josh looking deep, and a nice little bladey shot over the top, finding Joel inside half. And Joel going long. Joel going long. Oh, that is a big bid from Quinn, but unfortunately he was unable to gather. That was some great movement there, putting themselves in more threatening positions. And those throws seem to just cut through the wind like it was nothing.
So I've got a little bit of a blockage here, Ethan. What is the defense that we've got from MUA right now?
It looks like it's a person playing a little bit of a poachy out in the lane just to, once again, give an extra little bit of trouble. Adapting different ways to play against the Hex. It's a very unfamiliar offense for most teams to play against, so there'll be a little bit of trial and error to find what works and what doesn't here.
And we're coming in from the sideline, and Hex from a sideline is usually a 3. Let's see if MUA knows what to do with that. Oh, they do. They have shut down the next option. Well done, MUA. What we're looking for when we come off a 3 is to hit that line and keep it in flow, and they slowed it down.
Big shot, looking for Kieran, and Kieran has finished this point in style. Thornton with a good 40-metre shot, 30-metre shot in this wind, and Kieran was the only player that ever had a bit of that. That is what you want. What seems like this will be half-time. That is the way to take half. Well-earned break for both teams.
Just while we're here, just because I feel like I want to heckle the man over there with the hat on his head. Ethan, does it look like there's a smile on his face?
Oh, he looks pretty happy to be on that side of the disc. Usually he's the thrower, but he has shown this Hex ultimate doesn't really mind. If you're a thrower or runner, you'll be everywhere sometime during the point, and he has converted. As you see here, a replay of that throw going up. Great read, getting himself into good position, using his body to box out. And we are an hour in, reaching half time. Both teams will take a well-earned break for the last 15-minute grind of this game. And welcome back to the second half. Hammertron extending a lead out 7, MUA 3. That wind's picking up again. Hammertron on defense and ready to pull. Looks like the second male's point and Kieran. Good little roll pull. This will be interesting to see where this one ends out. And that's a good stop there. That's what we need to do. Joel finding Glenn early. Dishing back to Joel. That's a nice shot. Through the middle. Finding Josh, and Josh looking deep early. Oh, so close. Looking for Catherine in the deep.
Oh, what sort of defense are we looking for here, Ethan?
They're coming down their person. They're trusting that their person-person defense is doing the job. They're getting the turns, and it looks like their focus will be on, rather than changing their defense, got to make sure they put the pressure on with their offense and actually convert their opportunities. And there, hand to a disc straight away from one. Good pressure on the sideline. Manages to find Kieran in the middle of the field. Joel putting up a deep shot from Kieran.
Oh, it's exciting, it's exciting. Well done.
And Josh manages to sneak a hand in there and pick up that block. 3 Tron players in there. That is an important block. And unfortunately,
luck,
Joel near sideline. Here's a short field position that Tron will be looking for. Coming out of half, looking to break early. Kieran looking up the line. Great defense, and that's a float across. Josh, good heads up defense, picks up that block. Be interesting to see if they want to just get out of this half. Looks like they do, but that is a very controlled Hammer. Unable to connect, but they are looking threatening anyway. Rather than just pumping it, looking for Catherine. Kieran sending it straight back. Just short, and Josh making sure that there is no bid there from the Hammertron receivers. Joel to pick up. He's been a workhorse for this team so far. See how much he's got left. Sounds like it just never came in bounds, and so this will be coming up quite a way. Joel's setting good position. Hammertron in their zone though, floating across. Big bid. One managing to pick it up though. Glenn. Finding Joel. Cool head. Good little swing. Finding one. Back to Joel. Josh. Very, very calm offense here. Breathing with their passes, and they are just using the width.
I'd like to give the compliment to these lads here of not just sticking to the traditional vertical play here as they move the disc to the open option and keep it moving as they can.
Instead, it looks like Tron in their zone, forcing MUA to adapt a little bit. Coming back, finding Glenn, looking for that swing early. Oh, just bobbled over. And a good shutdown there from Tron, making sure that they retain that disc. Some good give-go movement, put themselves on the front foot. And they are moving very quickly now. Playing through the contact, continue to play at their pace. Kieran on the near sideline. Centering.
Desire with the disc to Kieran. Let's see what he does here. Oh, is he going to bang it? No. Unfortunately, maybe he should have banged it.
Just that fatigue. We are 68 minutes into this game. It has been a slog. Both teams playing some very good offense, but it is a grind. Glenn with the disc.
What you might not be able to see here on the sideline is that our both sidelines are back being active. We're not just giving up as the clouds have come over. We're not just resigning to our chairs. We are in here moving with our players. The intensity is rising.
Unfortunately, MUA, a little bit of a miscommunication, and the disc falls between them. Tron inside halfway. Timeout called. Understanding how important getting a break out of half can be. Also understanding they need to use these timeouts before soft cap.
Ethan.
Take the breather while you got it.
Just on a side note, I've heard some discussion just while they're in the timeout situation here. We've got 70 seconds. But there was a comment made around the use of zones in Division 2 lately.
Oh.
And what are your insights as to why we are moving to more zonal defense in a Division 2 space rather than the Division 1?
I think that there's a combination of factors. It feels like for the last number of years, Division 2 has actually been hounded by a lot of wind. The last one down in Christchurch, once again played in very heavy wind. These teams are showing that actually they want to make sure that they are prepared for everything, and that having a zone can be a great tool to have. These Division 1 teams, once again, they're showing that there's such an emphasis on disc skills now and finding the space that the offensive side of things is taking a big priority. Division 2, there's still a little bit of balance. They're still working their offense and their defense up. And they're playing some pretty good zones here. Forcing a lot of passes, achieving what they want. Achieving it in this wind. Lots of passes, lots of opportunities for return. They are playing the percentages and they are getting the results they want. Hammertron, 7. Inside halfway with the disc coming out of the timeout. Look to be setting up their hex again. Looks like movement early, violation, slight little reset, and this will come back in. Josh taps it in, Kieran swings early, finds Alex. Alex looking for options. Kieran, dynamic, giving an option early, seeing can he find it. Asaya down that sideline. Good give go movement, good dynamic. Hammertron is a team, more so than most, that do not like to keep that disc static, and they have got the result. Asaya finding Kieran in the zone. That is conversion, that is their break coming out of half, and that puts them up 8-3 with 3 minutes to soft cap. That is a very healthy position to be in.
Ethan, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw you under the carriage a little bit here, as I know what's happened earlier in the day. But what are some observations you've noticed in the last maybe 5 years as we've seen New Zealand Ultimate develop over time? As we've moved from one individual tournament that may be split into Div 1 and Div 2 to a situation where we have Division 1 and Division 2. What does that say to you?
It just shows how much growth there is, and this is just across everywhere. This is across the smaller regions, across the bigger regions. It's showing that these clubs are actually becoming so big that they have the ability to put out a number of teams, and it's just continuing to provide these opportunities while actually maintaining tournaments that are functional. We ran into issues where actually our Division 1 tournament, or it was just mixed nationals at that stage, one of them was up to like 22 teams, and trying to do that in a 3-day tournament is extremely hard to do. It was up to 26 at one stage. I've been corrected, and that logistically super hard. Hammertron team out here, they were the hosts. They knew how to do it, and they put on a good event. The Mount come out here and they're following it up. They turned on the weather, some great fields. Just another good tournament. They have had to deal with a lot of issues to get here. But once again, Division 2 is the place to be. As Thornton picks up the block, finds Keenan, Nicky in the center, and here's that quick pace. Slightly quicker than they were ready for, but they are showing a lot of intent here. Good shot from Jonas. Great pickup block from Thornton. But 46.
Kristen
Kristen Clark managed to pick it up. taking the point, and that is the way you want to do it. Good heads-up play, not giving up on that disc until it is caught, and as a result, Kristen finds Quinlan in the zone.
You know what? As someone that's looking at the list, I'm going to own it. That is an amazing feat from two players that are quite new to the sport.
Both these teams have a big blend of experience and youth. A number of the teams have been in NTSs, they've been in national training squads, they've been in U20 programs, and it's just showing the depth of talent. Despite them being a region, actually the pathways that they have got through their clubs, through their regions, they have taken advantage of that and they have excelled. A number of these players, exceptional athletes. It's a testament to the quality of our Division 1 teams that these players are here. It just comes down to what a great pull there, finding Will, Anne-Marie back to Will. Anne-Marie dishing, faking it off. Finding Wendy in the middle of the field. Will, far sideline. Keenan slashing across the field. Jane looking for space near sideline. Monique in the way, managing to block that off. And MUA forcing that throw into the wind, unable to connect, a little bit too crisp. Jonas picking it up. We'll see what he looks for. They've shown a variety of options here. They've shown intent to move. They've shown the ability to threaten deep. And as the rain seems to be setting in here, good little shot over the top. There are options there. Sophie in the space, but just out of reach. But these options here, they are going towards players. They have players in the space. They are threatening the space. They're actually genuinely trying to convert this rather than just playing for position. And here, Will picking it and walking it up to the line.
Here we go. Will's in position now for the power. Unfortunately, no one was long for him.
Maddie manages to catch up.
Wendy's there. Not there still. Who's going to be the next person to get it so they can set him up for the next huck? Adam
That's
Keenan.
a good grab there.
Here he goes. Look at Wendy. Is she going to... Unfortunately, Mon's got it now.
Monique gathers, looking end zone. Looks like she wants to finish this point here. And there she is. She's putting that up. And just turned over in this wind. That wind making these throws exceptionally difficult, especially when you're looking for 30-meter throws with some good shape. But there is good intent there. And despite that, you look at the shape of this disc, that held up for so long. She managed to holster that for another second, and all of a sudden, you're looking at MUA back on the board in good position.
That's it. It's not a bad option, putting it into some space where it's going to hang for our athletic teammates to pick it up. Forgive me if I've said this already, but if Hammertron can get this flowing and then they can get it into a power position to do the exact same thing in the opposite direction where it hangs for our athletic teammates to pick it up, we'll be away.
Oh, Jonas, a hand on both sides, a hand to bobble it, a hand to put it down. Picking it up, that's where they want to be. Short field, cheeky little backhand, out in space, and there you
Amazing.
go. What a grab,
Done.
Jonas, putting it in, putting MUA back up on the board. That's where you want to be.
Ethan, are you aware that our player there that caught that is a youth that's still in high school?
Here you go, Quinn. Seems to be bringing it down there. He is very happy with that. Jonas, as you see on this replay here, good shape, floating it out. And what a grab there to finish that off.
Here we go. We've got 7v7 ready out there. They are fierce and wanting this next point, wanting to win this game. If they win this game, it makes the ride throughout the quarters, semis and finals a lot easier, opposed to potentially being knocked out this round.
Jonas with a nice pull. Good distance, good width.
In case anyone wanted to know, we've had a sideline conversation with Kieran, the big man, 60, I think he's 68 on the Hammertron, 66, sorry, about throwing more hammers. We're just not accepting what's been happening here in the commentator's stand.
Will manages to swing, finds Jackson. Jackson looking downfield, being patient, faking off options, and finds Keenan in the middle. Oh, Will does well to gather that. Wasn't quite, no eye contact there, but Keenan managing to pick that up. And here they are, doorstep in their hex. And there's the hammer over the top, Hammertron living by their name, putting it in.
That's a goal.
That's a goal. Jackson bringing it down, that's where they want to be. 10-5, and that appears to be game. We've hit Sockcat, that is it, and we have been wrapped up here. As Hammertron very happy with the way that they finished their game off. Both teams showing that actually their disc skills are up there. Some cheeky little backhand throws, a good couple hammers, and showing that they can do anything they want to.
From us here in the commentator's stand, Ethan, Aroha and Ulti Central, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Oh, ulti.TV. I have been corrected. Sorry about that. We all know that the online thing is a little bit different to the TV channel here. But thank you for joining us. It has been a blast. Please join us tomorrow as we'll see my fellow commentator here out there throwing all-star hammers into the end zone.
That's it from us. Thank you very much. Have a good one, and we will see you guys tomorrow as we follow up on the last of pool play, looking into quarterfinal matchups tomorrow. We have some exciting games lined up. See you there.